Hello and welcome to Learn Faeria's Highlander deck building guide. This guide will teach you how to construct your own Highlander deck and show you some decks I've built using my own methods. Highlander is a special mode that's part of the Fight for Pandora event. Once you reach level 5 you will unlock Highlander, which will replace Unranked. The community must play 100,000 games to unlock Pandora. In Highlander mode you must have 30 different cards in your deck, so only one of each. This will unlock the Egg Quest, and with 25 wins you will unlock the Egg Avatar. So let's break down how you build an effective Highlander deck. First of all, you should decide on the archetype. An archetype will help you decide which cards best suit the deck. So for Highlander I would stick with these three archetypes: Rush, Midrange and Control. Once you've decided on that, pick a colour to best suit your archetype. Yellow is good at rush and midrange, red and green are good at midrange and control, and blue is best for control. Let's move on to the deck building. I'd recommend adding more creatures than event cards. When making a normal deck you put in event cards to handle specific problems. Having multiple copies gives you more chance to draw these events when you need them. Highlander makes relying on event cards more inconsistent because you can't have multiples. Creatures on the other hand will always have an impact on the board, regardless of only having one copy per deck. So I'd recommend a strong ratio of creatures in your deck over event cards. Neutral cards are more powerful in this format because of the lack of land requirements to play them. The card pool for coloured creatures is limited when you can only have one copy per deck. This is where neutral cards can help flesh out your list. Cards like Queen's Favourite, Master Swordsman and Outlaw Ranger help with having a wider variety of creatures in the free cost Faeria slot. It's no secret that neutrals are powerful in this format. Other Highlander players will be using plenty of neutrals themselves. This does open up powerful cards to counter them. Punishment is an event card that does 5 damage to neutral creatures. This is powerful in a format where neutral cards are very popular. Imperial Agent is a small stack creature that gives you a free punishment or safeguard, giving you access to good removal if you're up against many neutrals. For this guide I created 2 Highlander decks and tested them in a 5-game sample pool. Both decks had a 4-1 record, which I'm very happy with. The first deck is a yellow rush deck. I picked creatures that were fast and damaging. I used all the rush cards from yellow like Kalim's Follower and Orodrim Monk, and then added neutral creatures which had good stats. This deck is played very aggressively, relying on neutral creatures to apply pressure. You begin the match playing neutral tiles right up to your opponent's orb. Once you're right in their face you can start dropping deserts to help fuel the powerful rush cards. This is a rush deck, but that doesn't mean you need to hit the orb every time. Take advantage of the lack of consistent removal events in Highlander and fight for the board in the early game. Once your opponent is overwhelmed by a stream of creatures, you can then start dealing direct damage for the win. The second deck I made was a red midrange deck. This deck fights heavily for the board until your opponent can no longer keep up with your creatures. It has a similar structure to the yellow deck, using powerful neutrals. The red cards in a deck are the strong mid-range creatures like Barbarian Ogre and Gut Gorger. This deck packs a fair amount of event removal, as the red class has a lot of variety in that department. Combined with the punishment events, this deck has a lot of reach when clearing enemy creatures. So that wraps up my guide to Highlander. I wish you the best of luck crafting your own decks in the fight for Pandora. For more guides and articles check out playfaeria.com. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.